Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Emily Carter, a medical specialist in health, wellness, and natural medicine. Welcome to the channel. What you put on your plate today might be silently stealing your memories of tomorrow. Have you ever thought about that? Have you caught yourself forgetting someone's name or not remembering where you put the keys that were in your hand just minutes ago? If you're over 60 and have lately noticed that forgetting names, losing objects around the house, or not remembering what you were going to do has become part of your daily life, pay close attention to what I'm going to share with you today. What many doctors don't tell you is that certain foods, some that you probably consume daily, are accelerating your brain aging faster than time itself. Throughout my years of clinical experience, I've observed an alarming pattern of cognitive decline in patients who maintain certain eating habits. And the most surprising thing is that small changes in diet have generated impressive results in these patients' brain health. Today, I'll share discoveries that can completely transform the health of your brain and consequently the quality of your life in the coming years. Let's first understand what happens in your brain when you consume these problematic foods. After age 60, your brain becomes particularly vulnerable to inflammation. It's as if the neural protection system becomes more sensitive and less efficient over time. When we consume highly processed foods or those with specific inflammatory properties, we create what we neurologists call chronic neuroinflammation. This process is devastating for your cognition as it damages the synapses, those vital connections between your neurons, and impairs the production of BDNF, an essential protein that functions as real fertilizer for new brain connections. In essence, these foods I'm about to mention create a perfect storm that dramatically accelerates your brain aging. Can you imagine what it would be like to regain the mental clarity you had 10 or 15 years ago? Many people think cognitive decline is inevitable with aging, but the latest science shows us that this isn't completely true. Let me share with you the inspiring story of one of my patients. Carlos, a retired engineer of 72, began to notice that he could no longer keep up with chess games that he previously dominated with ease. His family noticed worrying changes. He repeated the same stories several times a day and frequently lost his train of thought in conversation, forgetting what he was saying. Concerned about a possible Alzheimer's diagnosis, Carlos came to see me. After a complete evaluation, I identified that his problem might be more related to his diet than to an irreversible neurodegenerative disease. To his surprise, I didn't prescribe medications, but recommended eliminating 3 specific foods from his diet. The transformation was remarkable. In his words, after 6 weeks without these foods, I began to feel my brain waking up. I went back to winning at chess, and my wife noticed that I was more present in conversations. It was like coming out of a mental fog. Carlos's case is not unique. I've seen similar results in hundreds of patients who followed the same recommendation. Now let's talk about the 3 foods you should eliminate today to protect your brain. The first villain of your brain health is products with refined sugar. I'm especially talking about sodas, industrialized sweets, and cookies. Did you know that studies from the University of California show that refined sugar causes insulin resistance in the brain? This means it drastically reduces the energy flow to your neurons. It's as if your brain cells were constantly hungry, even when glucose is available. Additionally, sugar triggers a process called glycation, which directly damages brain cells. And most alarming, this damage can be irreversible if consumption is continuous for years. Think about the moments when you consume something very sweet and then feel that mental energy crash. It's no coincidence. Your brain is suffering from the glucose roller coaster. Have you ever stopped to observe how you feel mentally after consuming something very sugary? Try making this observation in the coming days, and you'll likely notice a significant difference in your mental clarity. The second group of foods that's sabotaging your brain is foods fried in refined vegetable oils. This includes French fries, chips, and most fast food items. These oils, such as refined soybean, canola, and corn oils, are extremely rich in inflammatory omega-6 and, when heated to high temperatures, generate toxic compounds called aldehydes. The problem is that these compounds are able to cross the blood-brain barrier, that natural protection of your brain, and cause significant neurological damage. A fascinating study from Oxford University revealed that regular consumption of these foods is associated with cognitive decline 28% faster in people over 60 years. That's almost a third faster than the natural aging process. Can you grasp the impact this has over the years? How many times a week do you consume fried foods? If it's more than once or twice, your brain may be at accelerated risk. Beyond the direct damage to neurons, these refined oils also reduce the flexibility of cell membranes, impairing communication between brain cells. It's like trying to have an important conversation over the phone with a connection that keeps dropping. The information simply doesn't flow as it should. The third villain of your brain health is refined white flour, present in white breads, common pastas, and most bakery products. These simple carbohydrates behave exactly like sugar in your body, causing blood sugar spikes followed by sharp drops. As I explained earlier, this glycemic roller coaster creates an environment of chronic cerebral oxidative stress. The direct consequence is a reduction in the hippocampus's ability, a crucial region for memory formation, to regenerate its cells. Research from the University of Sydney demonstrates that replacing white flours with whole grains can improve memory by up to 33% in older adults. That's impressive. Think about the impact that a 1/3 improvement in your memory capacity would have on your daily life. Have you tried making this substitution in your diet? If not, this might be the perfect time to start. The good news is that your brain has an incredible capacity for recovery, even at advanced ages. The patients I've followed who eliminated these 3 foods for just 30 days reported significant improvements in short-term memory, greater mental clarity, and a return of the ability to stay focused for longer periods. Many describe the sensation as the mental fog dissipating, and most impressive, for some people, results begin to appear in just 2 weeks. Let me tell you the story of Angela, a 67-year-old patient who eliminated these foods after having difficulties remembering her grandchildren's names. The situation was causing embarrassment and even depression, as she felt she was losing connection with the people she loved most. After a month following your recommendations, Dr. Carter, not only did the names come back easily, but I began to remember details of conversations I had with them. My grandchildren noticed the difference and said, "Grandma is back." Seeing the emotion in Angela's eyes when reporting this experience is one of the greatest rewards of my profession. What the latest science reveals, and what many traditional doctors have not yet incorporated into their practice, is truly revolutionary. Studies from the National Institute on Aging in the USA demonstrate that brain inflammation caused by diets rich in these 3 foods can be a more determining factor for cognitive decline than genetics itself. In other words, even if you have a family predisposition for dementia or Alzheimer's, eliminating these foods can drastically reduce your risk. Isn't it amazing how we have more control over our brain health than we imagined? Dr. David Perlmutter, a renowned neurologist and author of the book Grain Brain, whom I have the honor of knowing personally, states that what we put on our plates has a more immediate and powerful impact on our brain health than any medication we can currently prescribe. This statement perfectly summarizes what I've been observing in my clinical practice over the years. Now, you must be wondering, but Dr. Carter, what should I eat then? Will I have to eliminate everything I like? Absolutely not. The good news is that there are delicious and healthy substitutes for each of these problematic foods. Instead of refined sugar, you can use small amounts of organic honey, xylitol, or fresh fruits to sweeten. Instead of foods fried in refined oils, try preparation techniques such as baking, grilling, or steaming, and use extra virgin olive oil to season after cooking. And to replace refined white flours, explore the wonderful world of whole grains such as quinoa, oats, brown rice, as well as almond or coconut flours for special recipes. A study published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease showed that people who followed a modified Mediterranean diet, rich in vegetables, olive oil, fish, and low consumption of the three villains I mentioned, had brains that appeared 5 years younger in advanced imaging exams. 5 years of brain rejuvenation just with dietary changes. Can you imagine what this means for your quality of life? Based on the most recent neurological studies, eliminating these 3 foods from your diet may be the most important decision you'll make this year to protect your mind and your memories. The difference between mental clarity and confusion could literally be on your next plate. And most incredibly, unlike expensive drug treatments, this approach is within everyone's reach and has no negative side effects, only additional benefits for your cardiovascular health, weight, and overall energy. Many people ask me how long it takes to see results. Although this varies from person to person, depending on factors such as consumption history, age, and general health status, I've observed that the vast majority of my patients begin to notice significant differences between 14 and 30 days. Some improvements you can expect include greater ease in remembering names and recent events, better concentration during readings or conversations, clearer thinking when making decisions, fewer mental blanks during the day, and a more alert and energized awakening. And if you're thinking, is it already too late for me? Let me reassure you, it's never too late when we talk about neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and form new connections. I have 85-year-old patients who saw substantial improvements after eliminating these foods from their diets. The human brain is incredibly resilient as long as we give it the right tools to recover. Start protecting your brain today. Make a 30-day commitment to yourself and observe the differences. It doesn't need to be a radical change all at once. You can start by eliminating 1 food per week if that seems more viable. The important thing is to take the first step. And remember, every time you say no to one of these inflammatory foods, you're saying yes to your brain health and to the preservation of your most precious memories. In the coming weeks, I'll reveal in other videos which foods you should ADD to your diet to not only prevent, but even reverse years of brain damage. Your memory and your family will thank you. Can you imagine the positive impact you'll have on your relationships when you remember important details about the people you love? Or how your confidence will increase when you no longer have to worry about embarrassing forgetfulness? I want to finish by sharing a reflection. Your memories are your greatest treasure. They contain the laughter shared with friends, your children's first day of school, the smell of your grandmother's kitchen, the sensation of summer sun on your skin during those unforgettable vacations. Protecting these memories is protecting the essence of who you are and the connections you've built throughout life. And now you know that this is, to a large extent, under your control through the choices you make when feeding yourself. Are you ready to give this gift to your brain? Start today. By eliminating these 3 villains from your diet and prepare to rediscover the clarity and mental vivacity you deserve to have. If this content was useful to you, don't forget to like, share with those you love, and subscribe to the channel for more information that can transform your health and well-being. By activating the notification bell, you'll be notified whenever a new video is uploaded. And don't forget to comment below with your questions or experience. I love to read and respond to each one of you. This is Dr. Emily Carter, taking care of your health and well-being. Until the next video.